Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Live Story Time. Let's see if anybody shows up. I know it's Saturday night. I know people are busy. You out getting your groove on, or some folks have to work. It's holiday season in the States, so they're gearing up. So nobody shows. I'm just going to tell this juicy story anyway. And you can just enjoy the story when you get to it. I thought a lot about, am I going to come on because it is a Saturday night and there's a lot going on. But because I posted it in my community tab and I said I was going to come on and do a story time, here's the story time for you. So, just to let you know about the story. The story may or may not be true. And we're going to change the name and a few of the specific details to protect the innocent. So we don't want folks asking other folks their business, even though I'm on story time telling it. Also, if you have any questions about the story whenever you watch, as long as it doesn't give away the anonymity of the person that the story refers to, I will gladly answer your questions. So I just want to put it out there. This story may or may not be true. Don't ask me who the story is about because I will not tell you. However, there may be some of you out there that will be savvy that might be able to connect the dots on this, true, not true story. And I have to say that it's alleged story because you don't want your girl's channel to get shut down for being out here telling folks business. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Saturday Night Live Story Time. Get your drinks. The story will be better with drinks. I'm telling you. I thought long and hard about which story. Because, I have to in my mind when I'm telling this story. Hello, welcome. I have to pause and make sure that I don't just bump and say the names of people to this story that may or may not be true. So we're just gonna this story that I'm going to tell tonight. The main character in this story. If you want to know more about them, I have a lot of, hey, Sarah, you should be doing something else with your story without hanging out with me Saturday night for story time, but it's going to be a juicy one. Throughout the story, I will again tell you that this story may or may not be true, allegedly. All of that to protect myself and, my channel from getting shut all the way down. So just keep in the back of your mind that this story may or may not be true. But as I was saying, the main character in this story for tonight, there are so many different caveats to this character. A lot of different stories that I could tell that I could be on here literally for hours. But in going through the stories, if you guys would want to hear more, obviously we'll give this character a name after we tell the stories, and we'll do a different series about this person, because this fictitious person has a lot of layers, and there's just so much. It's just so juicy. So it's almost in 5 minutes in. we are going to get started with tonight's story time. So welcome to Saturday Night Live story time. All right, so the name of the story is He is a Control Freak. All right. Hey, Trina. Hey, Bean. You're just in time for story time. Now, this story may or may not be true. Y'all gotta protect me from lawsuits out here in these streets. It's rough out here. All right, so we're gonna get started with the story. Okay, so the title of the story is He is a Control Freak. Okay, and this is really true. I'm going to, as you can see, I'm thinking through because you may be able to associate the story with different, hey Pearl, different people. And y'all know I cannot answer whether you are right or not, okay? Because this story may or may not be true. But if you're in the right direction, I might say hot, cold, okay? So, all right. Set the backdrop for you. Let me give you a little backdrop about this character. As I said to you, I have many stories. Should I throw in the word allegedly in there? Okay, allegedly. allegedly. Somebody write that down, allegedly, and pin it for me. So there are many stories about this particular main character in tonight's story time, allegedly. But let me give you background. So this person, you see, I'm walking a fine line, folks. Is very famous and very powerful, quite successful. Okay, so all three: famous, powerful, successful. And hey, Crystal, welcome to story time. So this particular story happened a few years back. And backstrap. Okay, so this person's very successful in entertainment business. They are very well known. Allegedly. They're very well known, very powerful person. Okay, so the thing about this person is they're an entertainer. And what most people don't know, but they should figure it out if you stop to think about it, is that this particular person, although they have had their hand in the success of many people, okay, and even today they are doing some things that are just phenomenal and have some very successful projects happening even right now. Allegedly. This may or may not be a true person, okay? Just keep remembering that. All right, so this individual wanted to be the act, though. This person's deepest desire was to be as big as a Michael Jackson, okay? They wanted to be that level of famous, okay? Now, they are famous, but, you know, to try to be a Michael Jackson, the Beatles type of famous, first of all, you've got to have that thing, that special sprinkling of it, okay? We don't all get it. But he thought he had it. And don't get me wrong, this entertainer is very talented. But here's the thing with this person. Whenever they would link up to do a project with someone else, the other person always got bigger. So no matter who they linked up with, the other person grew. Whether it was a male duo type of situation, partnership, or female, the other person always got the big bright lights. Now, in fairness, this person got the credit as, you fostered them in. You're the muscle behind the act. Even though they're a part of the act, just doesn't, no matter how it turned out, the other person became the bigger talent. Now, although on the scene, on the surface, when everybody saw this person, they smiling and happy. They happy. That, that's my man. Yeah, I'm so happy. That's my girl. Yeah, I'm so happy. But behind the scene, it was a whole other story. Now, this person, because they had a desire to be the act, but whenever they were doing a project, the other person got the limelight, started to do little things, little shady things behind the scene. Now, people didn't know, because it's on hush hush, and the executives allegedly, how many times I gotta say that, weren't gonna tell the act that, your person, your other partner, is really shafting you. And of course, if you're in a partnership with somebody and this is your dream and your dream is about to come true, and they're telling you, I got you, I'm in this, I'm going to make sure that we're good, and they would go forward. Now, the first time it happened, this particular person, the control freak, would act like, oh, wow. Like, really? Oh, wow. They got that off on us? Oh, wow. But after the second or third time, why is it when I do deals with you, I'm always the one that gets screwed? Okay, so people became aware that, you go into these deals with this certain individual, and your bread ain't right. The cash, the cheddar always comes up short for the one. So the other one, they got all the shine, but this one who wants to shine, they got all the bread. It seemed like they got the money, you got the fame. Okay, so the act started putting it together, but by the time they put it together, this control freak is rising in popularity, and also their money is getting stacked. They're getting richer, okay, because they're writing deals that's better for them. So, okay, so we're not gonna get too far into that. That's a whole nother story that leads to some mess that I don't even know if I want to put out on the internet. I have to think about that. So let's talk about this control freak. So, as I said, whenever they partnered with someone, the act got all the glory. The act got big. He did not, okay? At home, in his home life, he was very bitter. Now, as I said, makes no sense, right? Because you getting recognition. They were getting recognition for the act. They even got recognition for being a part of the act. But it wasn't enough. What was happening, yes, very bitter. What was happening inside them was that they didn't want the other person to get that shine. They wanted it all to themselves, okay? But they couldn't really say that because every time this person touched an act, they had the gift of pushing it to the forefront, even though they was writing some real shady deals. Okay, so let's get into the juicy love life. Yes, beings, think about it, Okay, so roll tape. So this person has an ego, okay? They got a huge ego, all right? And you think about it, when they would go out, people would acknowledge this person. But if the person that you're with has this notoriety, they have the fame, people will be screaming that person's name. They high and big up in you, but the other person, they're like, oh, crying tears, just let me touch it. They want to touch the hem of the garment like Jesus, because some people get a little nuts about their fandom. Okay, so he decided that he would go in this opposite direction. I can't really tell you the direction because then you would know exactly who I'm talking about. Although, can't tell you that clue either. All right, but he decided okay, I'm gonna find something that's just mine. So this person went into entrepreneurship, okay, and in that, very, very successful, okay. But again, everything on the surface is not what's happening underneath. Things was a little sticky, okay? But nobody knew that. Most people only take the topic. People don't ask really tough questions these days, so it was okay. But again, Mr. Control Freak, a good name for him. I like that, Mr. Bitters. That's what we're going to call him. Okay, this character's name is Mr. Bitters. He's getting more and more wealthy, all right? And he's decided that since he can't have the Michael Jackson fame, although that's what to this day they still want, allegedly, allegedly. They said, well, I can't control what other people think. And then he started sabotaging, but again, that's a whole nother story. Let's go into the love life. So at home. So this particular individual got used to the finer things in life because the more wealth he acquired, the more things you have access to. And like most people, they fall victim to the more you do, the more you want to do. All right? Now, because this is YouTube, we got to kind of keep it clean. All right? But I put in the title, Control Freak. And I mean freak. Okay, so this individual is in a relationship. I'll go later down in the story and decide whether or not I want to divulge the nature of the relationship because I really don't want to get sued. They're in a relationship and they have a child. Okay, yeah, okay, I can say that. They have a child. And but their biggest desire, since they can't be the main act that they thought they were gonna be, they decided that, okay, well, then I'm gonna make money another kind of way. Okay, I'm gonna be the man in charge. Okay, that's the story. But that's a very exclusive club, and it's not easy to get in. You ain't getting in. They invite you to some events, but you ain't getting in. But that's not how this thing works. But anyway, so they decide they're gonna be in this elite club of owners and that kind of thing. You know, people that own businesses, that's all I'm gonna say. So moving right along, they can't get the control that they want. So they have a relationship. Then they establish another relationship, okay? And in particular, they take on a relationship with some of the people that they are signing and producing, okay? Now, you know, my Meemaw told me a long time ago, it's always best not to where you eat, okay? That always turns into a messy situation, and this is no different, okay? So this person is now, you got a situation at home, okay? You got this part-time situation beside that, and now on top of that, because you are excessive, you need more. So you start to demand certain situations from the ex that you are producing. Now I'm starting to sweat and feel like I'm going too deep into these details for this fictitious character. So let me back up a little bit. All right, so I only tell you that to, let me back off that story. I'm just going to extract one of those people for the story. So one of the particular people he gets into a relationship with, long-term relationship. And you know, the arrogance goes, you know, the more wealthy this person became, the more famous, the more notoriety, the more brazen, the more bold, okay? Because people aren't necessarily giving them negative press about it. Now, remember what I said, the caveat to the story. This person's ego, they always wanted to be the number one in the act, but it never happened. The other person always, in every situation, was the bigger dog, the top dog. Okay, so that's grinding underneath them. So the person, they demanded that whoever their partner was with, they were with, had to be the best. Okay, we all know the best is relative, but in their eyes. So this control freak used to, for the women in his life, in particular, we're going to keep it on this one woman, demanded control of every aspect of her life. I mean, every aspect. To how she wore her hair, to the clothes that she wore. He had to approve all of them, down to the sweats. Yes, yes. This particular woman could not even pick out her own nail polish color. Oh no, she could not go to the salon and say, "Oh, I'm feeling kind of pink today." No, 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 no. If she would do that, he would hit her. Yeah, that's right. What we call them? I forgot his name. Bitters. Mr. Bitters would come home, and if she had on a nail polish color that he did not approve of, he would slap her. Okay. You with me? I ain't saying nothing to get me sued yet, did I? Woo! Okay. All righty. So, but now remember, now let's think of the flip side of it. Okay, so now social media, the Gossip Magazine, Star Magazine, all those other magazines, you know, they have this as this wonderful couple. Everybody sees this couple. Everybody's calling this person, "Oh, you are so lucky. You are with, Mr. Bitters," all right? And how could you, I mean, you hit the lotto. You with Mr. Bitters, because Mr. Bitters is rising and rising in wealth and notoriety, but Mr. Bitters is something else. So now this person who is now being abused, you know, not a lot. It wasn't a lot in the beginning. It was a smack here, pull your hair there. Yeah, it was, you know, not so much, not a closed fist punch in the face. That didn't come till later. Told you, Mr. Bitters got some stories. But, you know, just, and then the typical, you know, you got me so upset, you know, I'm so stressed, you know, I'm working this deal, you know, this is happening, you know, why did you try me? The typical abusers, it's, you know, I'm sorry, but it's really your fault. And because this person was a little naive and had never been in an abusive relationship, because nobody knows how you're going to react in an abusive relationship. Yes, we like to all tell ourselves that if that were me, I would fed him a poisonous sweet potato pie, or I would have cut his nuts, or he would have been whatever when he was sleeping. But until it's you, until you are actually there and you are in a relationship with somebody who you love, you pretty sure that you love them, and they begin to abuse you, it's very hard to say what it is you would do. All right, just had to put that out there. Not putting any judgment on her. I might be judging Mr. Bitters a little bit, but you know, this is my story time. I can feel how I want to feel. All righty, so they're going along is the first part of the story. They're going along and they go to this event. And at the event, she has on the polish, the outfit, everything that Mr. Bitters approved. What she did, however, was went and got a new haircut. And because it was such a change, it was a beautiful haircut, but because it was such a change from what she had looked like, paparazzi went nuts in this fictitious story. Okay, so they're asking him. Now, he's the big star, but they're asking him to get out of the way because of what she's wearing and this haircut, okay? And he's on the side, and he is, beaming, the same sorry little smile he does when they call the friend's name to come and perform, even though they did the act together. When they scream in the other part of the duo, no matter what duo that they're in, they're screaming the other person's name. Well, this is what's happening right now. She's supposed to be the underling, but the paparazzi are asking her to smile and turn for the camera so that they can see her. Now, did I happen to mention, I told you this person was an artist for this individual, and they have talent. Mr. Bitters was left on the sideline, and he was smiling, and she was nervously smiling too. Because she knew that, how is Mr. Bitters going to handle this? Went through the whole party perfectly fine. Nothing happened. Matter of fact, at the party, control freak Mr. Bitters was asking people if they saw her new haircut, asking people how they liked it, saying how much he loved it, okay? So she's thinking, okay, this is okay. This might be all right, because she knew she was taking a chance. As I told you, he controlled everything, top of her head, bottom of her feet. Those were the rules. That's it. You want to live this good life, you want to live this life of fame and fortune, then you live by my rules. That's who Mr. Bitters is. Okay, but she stepped out and let her hairstylist try this new haircut on her, which was smoking fire, beautiful. Okay, no complaints, nobody anywhere, even in the press the next day, everybody loved this hairdo. All right, they leave the party. Okay, all's well. They go to the next party, the after party. In the entertainment business, it's not just one party. No, it's several parties. And when you are very popular, allegedly, in the entertainment field, allegedly, there are several parties, several events, several invites, and there are some parties that you just can't miss, okay? Thank you, Sarah. So they go to the first party, get in a limo, it's perfectly fine. So by the second party, she's relaxed, because she's like, hey, and everybody's, snapping pictures, same thing. Mr. Bitters is asked to kind of step to the side so they can take pictures of her. She is shining, okay? They like the whole look, she's shining. All right, so now it's the wee early hours of the morning, okay? And she's had some champagne or whatever she don't want to say what it was she was drinking, but she was, she's feeling good. She had a good time. There was not a problem. They get into the limo. He calls for the limousine. He's hugging on her, kissing. There's some lingering paparazzi still, so there's shots of them where he's all hugged up and kissing on her. Now, mind you, she's not the main person, but it has been accepted that this is one of their girlfriend. I was searching for the word, folks. Okay, so all kissed up. Mr. Bitters says to the paparazzi, you got your shot? Everybody got your shot? Da-da-da. Okay, good night, everybody. It was a great time, right? They get in the car. Mr. Bitters says, did you have a good time? And she's like, yes, I did. And she said, I can't believe. And in the middle of her sentence, he punched her in the face. That's right. Didn't say driver, roll the partition up, nothing. Punched her right in her face and kept punching her in her face. Kept punching her. Punched her, punched her, punched her, punched her. They pulled, she's screaming and yelling. He's telling the driver, you better not pull this car over. The limousine driver's like, yo, wait, get off of her. Wait, what's going on? I don't really want to be a part of this. So the driver pulls the car over, allegedly, okay? And she's trying to kick her way out of the car. He's on top of her. He is punching her. And she finally, by the grace of God or whatever you believe in, miracle, universe, magic, whatever it was, she kicked the door flew open. She starts crawling out of the car on a major street. Got back up off them details a little bit, allegedly. And he gets out of the car on top of her and begins to punch her some more. The driver can't take it. The driver stops. The driver pulls him off of her. He tells the driver to mind your business, but he don't say, if you know who it is, please be quiet. Please don't say no names. Their name is Mr. Bitters. He gets off of her. He calls because for a fleet of other cars, and he says, take this trash home. And he also says, I don't want to see you trash until your hair grows back. Imagine. Okay. So, they broke up. Well, he dumped her because he didn't like her haircut, and how dare she. So you think that's the end of the story. Now let's roll this into another story. So they get back together because, I don't know, I can't feel that part in because you beat me like that real bad. And I mean, nobody saw her for a while after that. And then when they did see her, her hair was quite different. But anyway, when they got back together, what people don't know, allegedly, maybe sort of kind of, see me dodging that lawsuit, is he said, I'm have you back in my life because you need me, something similar to this, allegedly, but you have to earn your way back into my bed. Okay. So, this is when the story's getting good. We're almost out of time about Mr. Bitters Part 1. So, you ready? You drinking? You might want to get a little drink. So, he says you have to earn your way back into my bed. So, in the meantime, Mr. Bitters would have her there, and she would have to watch Mr. Bitters have sexy time with other people. And she would have to sit there and watch them. She could not participate. She could not leave. She could not, do anything as far as pleasuring herself. No participation whatsoever. She had to sit and watch Mr. Bitters be pleasured. Okay, just as YouTube. So we're just going to keep on sliding past that. So she would say to him, well, what can I do to earn my way back into a regular relationship with you? And he said, well, since you were a B, I'm going to treat you like you're a B. And he would continue to say, well, since you're a B, you have to get treated like a B. Okay? And this went on, and she would tell her friends, allegedly, that he would say, since you're a B, we're going to treat you like a B. All right, over and over and over again. And we're like, what does that mean? It was haircut, like, girl, leave. Okay, just leave. No, but again, as I said, the dynamic with a relationship, add some money to it, add power, add fame. What goes on psychologically is a whole nother situation. Now, in the middle of all of this, he is lavishing her, okay? In the public, she getting all this stuff. and people are seeing it, and people are saying, you know, how lucky you are, and this and that, and I wish it was me. And people don't understand when you have that outside noise telling you how lucky you are. That's what it sounds like, okay? And then the reality doesn't match up. But then you have the abuser in your face. You better stay here. You're going to be nothing without me. And a lot of times your family is co-signing the abuser because they don't know how bad it is, because you stopped telling them, or they stopped wanting to hear about it because they told you to leave, you know, 4 or 5 moons ago, and you stayed. So they're like, you like it, I love it, that kind of thing. So you start to feel stuck. And I think that that's what was happening here, allegedly, on this fictitious story. Whew. All right. So remember, while I wrap this story up, she had to earn her way back into the bed, right? Anybody got any ideas of what he meant by, since you're a bee, I have to treat you like a bee? Anybody know? Any ideas on how Mr. Control Freak decided that she could earn it? Well, I get a call. Allegedly, a person gets a call. I might not have should have said that part. I don't know. Okay, so there's a call made. Okay, and you need to rush right over and handle this situation. This is a situation, and you need to rush over and you need to handle it. You need to be discreet. That we have a problem. Okay, but the call is on behalf of her, not Mr. Bitters. Okay, so all right, you need to meet this person at a certain hospital, whatever. And I'm like, okay, he done lost his mind and done beat her again. And the reality of the situation is, as unfortunate as it was, it wasn't uncommon. It wasn't an uncommon story or an uncommon call to get. I'm just being honest with you, allegedly. All right, so show up at, can't say where, a facility where an urgent care, I guess I could say that, urgent care facility for this person. And they're there alone because the other person is too famous. But the girl is in a disguise. She's got this whole other wig on. And I'm expecting, in all honesty, for her to be beat up. Yeah, that's what I was expecting, which is really terrible now that I think about it. But I'm just being honest with what my expectation level was. Like, oh, okay, we got another one of these situations, and we need to hide her from the public, paparazzi, you know, people finding out about the story. Okay. She wasn't beat up. So I pulled the curtain back, and she wasn't beat up at all. She was very, very ill. She was sweating. She didn't look herself at all. And at this point, I'm like, well, what's the matter? You know, and then I'm thinking, what, did he poison her? Like, this is what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not saying this, but this is what I'm thinking. And at the same time, the physician comes in, and the physician says, well, I'm going to have to ask you to leave because, okay, it's herpes. Just wait. At the time, I don't even know if I knew much about herpes at the time. To be honest with you, I wasn't thinking that. I don't know. And she said, no, I want her to stay. She's family. And she's squeezing my hand so hard. And she's there by herself. And I'm like, you sure you want me to stay? Because I really don't want to know. I really don't want to get in this thing. And she says, no, I want you to stay. And so I stay there, and the doctor says to you, well, we're going to have, the doctor says to her, we're going to have to perform a surgery, and you have to have it now. And so now I'm like, surgery, and I told you I'm looking at it, and she's got a disguise on clearly, but I don't see any visible markings. So I'm like, oh Lord, he done rubber hose or beat her with the phone books. You know, I've been too many mob movies, and she got broken bones. They got to set the bone. And so she was like, are you sure? I said, yeah, we have to get this done. And so I said, well, what surgery? What kind of surgery? And the doctor looked at me, just, looked like stone cold face. Never saw a face like this before. And he said, we have to remove, you ready? All of the dog hairs out of your vagina. She had an excessive amount of dog hairs in her vagina. And I was like, what? Wait, what? Like, what? How you get an excessive, So, he said, well, somebody's coming in to prep you for surgery. They'll be right in. Leaves. Said it just like that. I'm not joking. So I said, I don't want to be on how this happened. And she said, remember when I told you that he said that I'm a bee, so he has to treat me like a bee? He was making her have sex with his dog. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that was story time for tonight. I told you I had a lot of story. Yes, the end of the story, she did get a vaginal scraping done. She did not break up with Mr. Bitters. Yeah. Any questions? That was probably one of the wildest things. I looked at this surgeon. It was like, wow, wondering if he had heard, this is my circle. Don't judge. Hey. But yeah, they they didn't break up from that. They did not. She had the surgery. She was released secretly the next day, and c'est la vie. On and on to the next story between Mr. Bitters, the control freak, and the people he controlled. So, that's it. Did you know that that's how the story was gonna? What kind of a dog was it? He has a love of a certain breed of dog. It was a big dog, large breed dog. I can tell you that. He keeps those dogs around him to this day. And yeah, I was really confused about a lot of things because I was like, hey, how you do all that and whatever. But no, it was not a Siberian Husky. But it's obviously a dog that sheds. But yeah, so there you go. That was Saturday Night Live, the control freak story time. Was that too much information? Probably so. Sorry about that. But yeah, the sad thing, like I said about the story, was that he's this powerful person, and she's a gorgeous, talented person in her own right, and it's amazing how if you're not standing in your own light, in your own energy, in your own strength, the things it was a dog. Doesn't matter. Exactly. It really doesn't matter what kind of dog. And he was forcing her to do this. And yes, famous people. And he forced her to do that for several weeks until she got ill from this relations with the animals. So not a healthy situation. I understand there are people that are into bestiality, not judging you, just not understanding. And so obviously you have to be careful with such things. So, yes, that was a story time for my friends on here. I know you guys are gonna hit me up and ask me who it was. Or you might know, but some of my clients, And so yeah, so if you want more stories about Mr. Bitters, some of the shady deals they did to some people, uh, some of the things that they did working with Mr. Bitters. I have those stories too. So, but anyway, that's it. That was the story for tonight. So the moral of the story is be careful what you wish for. This is your last week on YouTube? Oh goodness. Well, I will see you in another dimension somewhere out there. Take care of yourself in the meantime. And yeah, until next Scorpio season. You're funny. Okay, so that's it. That was my story for Mr. Bitters. I mean, I feel bad leaving you guys with that story, but it was a matter of telling you that story or telling you the other story about, the cheating story and da da da. But I kind of told you one of those, even though this was about famous people too. But allegedly. Did I say allegedly enough tonight? But anyway, I'm going to let you get back to your tell that story. I'll tell that story another time. I have so many. It's been 40 minutes. I've kept you guys entertained with this person. But yeah, this person, from the first beating to the second thing, it was progressively got very toxic. So, and if you're in a toxic relationship and you need help, there are tons and tons of websites and outlets out there that are there to help you. So if you are in that situation, I encourage you to reach out. I know that the most dangerous time when you are leaving an abuser is when you have made up your mind to leave. So take the necessary steps, stay safe, but reach out, get help so you can get out. Okay? So that's it. I know we made light of it, but I always want to get to the seriousness of the matter. So reach out to your local agencies to get some help if that's the situation. If you're in a similar situation where you feel as though you are being abused, there's help out there. Get the help and let us help you and stay safe. Alrighty, thank you for joining me for story time for that alleged true story, not true story, fiction. And, and until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other. And I'll see you on the next story time or the next live reading. Bye-bye.